Welcome to our channel, where each story is like a treasure chest waiting to be opened. Today's story is titled, Poor Boy Was Mocked for His Clothes. Teacher's reaction shocked everyone. The classroom was filled with laughter, but not the kind that warms hearts. It was the cruel laughter that cuts deeper than a knife. At the center of it all stood a boy named Ion, a quiet child with worn-out shoes and a shirt that was 2 sizes too big. His pants were patched in several places, and his collar was frayed. To the other kids, he was a target. To them, his clothes were a joke, his silence an invitation. "Hey Ion, did you borrow that shirt from your grandfather?" one boy sneered, while another added, "Maybe he's starting a new fashion ragged edition." The laughter echoed across the room. Ion kept his head down, clutching his old tattered notebook like a shield. His cheeks burned, but his lips remained sealed. He'd learned long ago that if he said nothing, the storm would eventually pass. But that day, something was different. The teacher, Mrs. Mira, walked in just as the mocking was at its loudest. She paused at the doorway, her eyes scanning the room, her gaze finally resting on Ion, who sat frozen in shame. The children, realizing she had entered, quickly quieted down, though a few still struggled to contain their giggles. Mrs. Mira set her books on the desk, her expression calm but stern. She didn't start the lesson right away. Instead, she looked at Ion and said softly, "Ion, would you come to the front of the class, please?" The boy's heart sank. He wanted to disappear into his chair, to vanish where no one could see him. But with trembling steps, he walked to the front. The silence in the room was heavy now, every eye fixed on him. The teacher then turned to the class. "I heard some of you laughing at Ion's clothes. You think that's funny?" she asked, her tone sharp. A few students looked down, guilty, while others shifted uncomfortably. And then Mrs. Mira did something that no one expected. She looked at Ion and asked, "Do you know why his clothes look the way they do?" The boy's lips quivered, but before he could answer, she gently put her hand on his shoulder and said, "I'll tell you. Ion's father works as a laborer. He spends his days carrying heavy loads under the scorching sun, and his nights fixing whatever he can, so his children can go to school. His mother sews clothes for others, but often there isn't enough left for her own son. Every stitch on these clothes is a mother's sacrifice. Every patch is proof of a family's struggle. And every tear is a reminder that education is more important to them than appearances." The classroom was silent. The mocking smiles had vanished. Mrs. Mira continued, her voice firm yet emotional. "Do you know what true shame is? It's not wearing patched clothes. True shame is having a heart that mocks someone's hardship. True shame is laughing at courage disguised as poverty." Ion stood there, eyes wide, tears threatening to fall. For the first time, he didn't feel small. He felt seen. Then the teacher turned back to him. "Ion, would you show the class your notebook?" Slowly, he opened the worn cover and held it up. Every page was filled with neat handwriting, every margin lined with effort and care. "Look," Mrs. Mira said, her voice softer now, "while some of you waste your time mocking others, this boy spends his time learning. His clothes may be torn, but his determination is not. He is richer than many of you, because he carries the wealth of hard work and humility." A hush fell over the room. The boys who had laughed earlier now looked down, their cheeks burning with shame. One of them muttered a quiet sorry, but Mrs. Mira wasn't finished. "I want you all to remember something," she said, her eyes sweeping across the room. "A person's worth is not measured by the clothes they wear, but by the dreams they chase, the respect they give, and the kindness they show. Ion may not wear the best shirt, but he wears something far more valuable: dignity." From that day forward, something changed. The students stopped mocking Ion. Some even began sharing their lunches with him, while others offered him books they no longer used. Slowly, the boy who once sat alone in silence began to smile more, his confidence blooming. And though his clothes didn't change overnight, the way his classmates saw him did. Years later, Ion would stand on another stage, this time not in a classroom, but at a university graduation ceremony. His clothes were still simple, but his achievements were extraordinary. And as he received his medal, he spotted Mrs. Mira in the audience, clapping with pride. He would never forget that day in school, the day his teacher stood up for him, the day she taught the class a lesson that no textbook could contain. It wasn't about grammar or math, but about humanity. Because sometimes the most powerful lessons aren't written on a blackboard. They are written in the courage of those who endure and in the compassion of those who choose to stand beside them. And for Ion, that lesson became the foundation of his life. That respect, kindness, determination are worth more than anything money can buy. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming tales. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.